It doesn't matter how many ways you can skin a cat. There are only 4 possibilities for why the universe is here. Number 1 is that it happened accidentally. It happened by chance. We don't understand what happened. Everything came out of nothing, but it was without a cause, without an intention. It happened according to the laws of science. Number 2 is that the universe has always been here. It has always existed. It never was not in existence. Number 3 is that it is an illusion. It is the matrix, the wool that has been pulled over our eyes. This is not the true reality, but some sort of a dream, some sort of a vision, some sort of a false illusion. Number 4 is that it happened supernaturally. It was created out of nothing in a transcendent way. A creator had this intention, or there was some sort of a intention, some sort of a reason for this creation, and it was above the laws of science and nature. These are the 4 possibilities. There are no other possibilities. So let's logically look at these 4 points and start with point 1. We have never created anything from nothing. We cannot create a life from non-life, so to say that everything came from nothing requires quite a leap of faith. And it contradicts the first law of thermodynamics. It is unscientific. This law has to do with the conservation of energy, that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but transformed from one form to another. And for us to say it is accidental, we can look and confirm how intentional this creation is. To give you some examples of many, there is the moon. The moon is not too far or too close to the earth. The tides would be too big, or the water cycle would not work. The moon perfectly faces us in its rotation around us and can create a total solar eclipse with the sun. The sun is the right size. It is not changing, fluctuating in brightness, getting too bright or too dim as other stars around us. We live in that habitable zone, that distance from the sun. The earth is the right size. It is perfect in a 360-degree rotation every 24 hours. If it was too big or too small and that rotation was too fast or slow, we would either be too hot or too cold to support life. And it is not just these constants that are affecting Earth, but the whole universe itself. You can look at the gravitational force, the electromagnetic force, things that are keeping universes spinning together, things that are holding everything from the universe to the smallest atom. The Strong's nuclear force, what causes hydrogen and electrons and protons to hold together, giving us hydrogen or carbon or oxygen, the building blocks of all life. The expansion rate of the universe itself, too fast and life cannot form. Universes do not form planets. Too slow and everything falls back in on itself. These are constants that even small changes would affect everything. So that intention is there. And we look at number 2, and to say that everything has always existed, this was a belief of scientists for many, many years. Albert Einstein was one of those scientists, and when he created the theory of general relativity, he noticed that time, space, and matter would have to all come into existence at the same time, and it would have had to have a start. It was contradicting his belief that the universe always existed. And then Edwin Hubble came and confirmed that the universe was expanding. He looked through his telescope and could see that the universe was expanding. And this forced Einstein to acknowledge that number 2 cannot be an option. we have the second law of thermodynamics, which is the most tested and verifiable law in science, that any order falls apart. Any structure eventually breaks down. It might be your body that starts to decay, or a new car that needs to be maintained. Maybe you have a relationship. I don't know how perfect it is in the beginning, but it eventually needs work. It needs to be kept and maintained. And this is found in every system in the world. So we have the second law of thermodynamics. We have Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity, confirming Genesis 1:1, time, matter, and space being created in the very first instance. We have Edwin Hubble noticing the expansion of the universe, the background radiation being detected that showed that there was a start, a big bang, an initial creation. This is now science. Number 2 is not scientific. So let's go to number 3. Now 1 and 2 are called science. Number 3 is called philosophy, the funny farm, the road to drugs, and the insane asylum. This is insane if you believe it, because unfortunately we've got to follow it out logically. And it is the route that Buddha takes, it is the route that Hinduism takes. And what it is saying is that you are not really here. I am not really here. And what this means is that there is no good or no evil. There are no polarities. Everything is the same. There is no God or Satan. Satan is God. And the problem is we are dealing with realities. If you truly believe this, go and put your hand on the stove. Don't eat for a month and see what happens. Go and run into the traffic. Yet no guru on earth will dare do that. And what we have is not an answer to the question, but a kicking the bucket down the road. It not only kicks it down the road, but it overcomplicates the question. It complicates it even more. Because who created the simulation generator? Whatever created this video game, as perfect as it is, as intentional as it is, as designed as we can see it, whatever created this would have to be more perfect, more designed. We'd have to come back to this board once again. And that is why the only scientific option, the only possibility we have, is number 4, a supernatural creation, a miracle, a God, something, a force before time, space, and matter. He had to exist before those were created. He had to be powerful in order to create everything, intelligent in order to create these constants. Intentional, personal, because he had to decide to go from nothing to something. It is not like a force like gravity, which is always on. It is an intentional creation, and you throw in the moral argument, and you have God.